Welcome back, everyone. So we're jumping into a game, playing against a very strong player. Let's go e4. Okay, we got a Nimsevich defense. I assume I've never actually encountered this. I know of the opening, but I've never encountered it. Okay, what could be an alternative to d4? If not d4, maybe knight f3 is flexible. I'll play knight f3, it'll stay flexible. d6 now. I mean, d4 makes sense. This might become some type of perk. Yeah, I don't know what to do if not d4, so. Bishop g4. Bishop b2 seems logical. Knight d2 also comes to mind, but knight d2 would lose a pawn. Could also go d5, take, it comes in. I don't think. Bishop b5 also, actually. Say h6. Can I go here? Here. He gets a pawn though. I guess there is bishop b5 and takes. So what are my options? There's bishop e2 or bishop b5. Do I like bishop b5? This has to be a move. This has to be playable, but it just goes h6, I think. I think it's bishop e2. I'm spending too much time here. Okay, e5 is logical. I mean, can't I take? Take, if take, I take. Then take. If take, yes, takes. Then takes, take. Wait, knight takes c4. Knight takes c4, bishop takes c2. Knight takes. Here, he gets my bishop, I get his knight. Take, I take the queen. Then if he escapes with the bishop, is my knight trapped? No, I can take here. I can take on b7. And then I'm escaping through a5. If he takes with the knight, of course, I just take. Yeah, I can take on e5 here. Yeah, he takes, but then I can take on hitting his queen as well. He should definitely trade here. If not, I get the bishop here, I have the big center, and I'm ahead in development. Yeah, so we take the queen. You can take on c2. Actually, e4 is hanging then. Say bishop takes c2. So we take on b7. I miscalculated this. No choice though. Didn't take on e4. Knight a5 is the only move. Oh my god, and g2 hangs as well. Oh yeah. Oh, this is pathetic. Oh, I miscalculated. That was very poor. Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a rough one. Rook g1, only move. Yeah, okay. So we're fighting to survive here. we can't win this position, so we're gonna have to try to draw. Play for a draw here. This was really bad by me. I missed that e4 was hanging in the end. I guess I have a slight lead in development, but does that mean much? My biggest concern is these pawns are really weak. I have 3 pawn islands. Well, 4. My structure is just horrible. Yeah, bishop e4. I don't like that move because I have knight c3. So you want to go d5, but I don't like d5 either. I feel like that'd be a big weakness, and it does give me the bishop. Wow, knight of 6. Okay, that's probably a decent move. Although bishop g5 comes with tempi now. Now he has to move the bishop. So let's say bishop g5, threatening to take, and then take the bishop. 24. So after bishop g5, he has to move the bishop. I do close the g file though. This was bishop e3 or bishop d2. If bishop g5, he has to move the bishop somewhere. Say bishop g5. I'm actually controlling all these squares. So bishop has to go like to f3 or probably to g6 or f5. Let's just say bishop g5 and bishop g6. Then I can take, and his structure, I'm damaging his structure, so I like that actually. I'm gonna go bishop g5 here. So kind of a nice continuation. We're exploiting his lack of development. Okay. Can I go rook g3? He is preventing me from castling. Let's say rook g3. I can also come in and give a check. And then I check probably king d7 because if bishop e7, these moves look like problems. So let's say rook g3. He has to go here. So rook g3. This is forced. Bishop h5. Then can I give a check? Maybe rook g3, and I can play take and knight d5, threatening the fork and threatening the pawn. I think we're gonna start with rook g3. Yeah, we're getting some really nice initiative here. Only move is bishop h5. After which we have we can take on f6 and go knight d5, I believe. Here, knight d5. Let's say king d7. Wow, king d7 we take with check though. So take, knight d5. I'm not gonna waste any time, this has to be good. We're actually threatening 2 forks. the bishop might hang if he allows us to take on f6 with check. So rook c8 fails. King d7 also fails to the fork. So king f8 is playable, but king f8 there's check. King d7, there's take, and then we can take on f6. So we can sacrifice the knight and then take the bishop on h5. King d7 is not possible. King f8, we might have this idea. And then king e7 is not possible. So I think not king f8, king d8, excuse me. Looks like the only move. And then king d8, I'm thinking knight c6. Let's say he comes up. But if here, yeah, but now he blunders the rook on c7. Okay, so now we're up the exchange. Rook c1 comes to mind. There's also knight b3. I think just rook c1. Okay, so now we just have to convert our advantage. No need to rush. Just put our pieces on their optimal squares. The rook on g3 could actually join the g file here. The c file, I mean. So two moves come to mind. This move comes to mind, but I think there's just bishop g6. So I think just taking over the... no, he has some checks coming. I could just play a3. Then the knight can escape. I also have knight c6. And does knight c6 work? I think just a3 for the sake of simplicity. Yeah, just a3 and just prevent bishop b4. And the knight can either come to c6 or b3 and into c5. That might be really good actually, because I would love to recapture with the pawn, making my pawn structure slightly healthier. So we're at the exchange now, which is surprising. We're playing a strong player, 1837. Alright, so he's trying to trap my knight. But I don't know, I don't think he realizes it does not work. He's also attacking my pawn here. I mean, b4 just comes to mind as a really good move. We secure the c5 square, and there is no really easy way for him to exploit the a3 weakness, and it's well guarded for now. Which b4 looks very solid. Yeah, of course, something like rook b5, we can just go knight b3, probably get into c5. Maybe, I probably don't want to rush getting into c5 though, just because I would love to double up on the c file first. So if I can create threats on the c file, and then jump into c5 with my knight, after forcing him to make concessions to defend against my threats. Okay, so I'm noticing that he can't take on on h2 because few moves come to mind here. Rook g7, I think you can just play bishop g6 and my rook is kind of in jail. If rook c3, he can't take because of rook h3. And he has no checks to save the dark squared bishop. So I'm thinking rook c3, and then the idea is also rook e3 is interesting. He does have checks, but I think I can always meet that with rook e3. Or even king d2. Maybe not king d2 because he can infiltrate on e2. So I'm thinking, do I want to play rook e3 or rook c3? If I play rook c3, he might have rook e8 check. And then I have to go rook e3, but that should be fine. Let's just take over the file for now. Of course, he can't take on h2, but or can he take on h2? I missed something. He can threaten my other rook. Let's say here, 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 here. Maybe that's not great. Also, I have to be very careful. Rook e3 is not possible because of this move. Okay, just h3 now, I think, is just very solid. He didn't see it, but I think he could have taken because he had bishop f4, hitting my rook. And my rook is not defended, so. Can I go here? Maybe unnecessary. Also, I'm realizing that we have the f3 square now. Don't want to go h4. h3 or h4 here? I think h3 because the rook defends. I'm a little tired, so I feel slow. Okay, we should be better here. It's just a matter of converting. Now it's very likely that I'm gonna have to play. This move is a bit annoying actually. His bishops are quite strong. How can I limit his bishop? My knight is very much out of play, and my rooks are kind of dominated by the bishops. My knight would need to control some squares and take them away from these two bishops because they have too much access to squares. Yeah, bishop e4 is a good move, but f3 comes to mind. I mean, just f3, right? Maybe he wants to provoke f3. I do have this knight b3 now. Take, take. Just simplifying, taking the bishop pair. If I can get rid of the bishop pair, I think I have no issues at all. Also this move. Attacking a7. But I think I like knight b3 more. Yeah, I'm gonna play knight b3 here. He might have been trying to provoke f3, but there's no reason to push pawns. So every time you push a pawn, you weaken squares. Also, f3 just feels a bit uncomfortable because my rook takes his eyes off of h3. So, yeah, so the pawn would be a little bit weaker. Now knight b3, and if I can get rid of the bishop pair, then the conversion should be much easier. And it's not so easy for him to actually hold on to this pawn after, let's say, take and take and rook e3. Rook e3, there's this though. Okay, bishop g2 now. I'm not too sure what he's trying to do. This pawn is defended. I mean, of course, f3 is not playable. You can take. I mean, check. I assume king here. Say check and king e7. Maybe I can get the no, because then that would hang a pawn. Of course, I can never play rook e3. Maybe I can just play king e2 here. I'm just going to improve my position. Yeah. So now we're controlling f3. And there's possibilities of swinging the rook over. So actually rook g1 is probably a threat now, because if rook g1, then bishop e4 is forced, and we have knight c5, and if takes, of course, then this is just amazing. We have 3 pawns on the side of the board. He checks. Rook e3 comes to mind. If bishop, let's say rook e3, if bishop f4 now, we can take, and just go rook g1, for example. Bishop f4 looks like it works, but it doesn't. I can just trade the rooks. He takes this rook. I can just go after the pawns, like take. This pawn hangs. Knight b3 would be, knight c5 would be on the way, sorry. And everything should be under control. That might should be a bit of a spy check. And now I want to play rook g1. And actually both rooks are coming off the c file now. Also, rook g1 gets out of the way of rook f4, because I imagine he's going to move his rook now. He definitely does not want to trade and help me improve my structure, because I take back with the f pawn. Oh, actually. Oh yeah, I'm forced to take back the f pawn. I do give up the h pawn, but It should be fine. Let's say rook h1, bishop 5. Yeah, I can just trade the rooks here. Take, take. I also have check and this. Oh, I don't have check. He guards check. Knight b3. Say here, then we have this. I keep saying knight b3, I mean knight c5. Would be thrilled if he takes. And he needs to stay near the rook, so imagine king d8, but king d8 runs into knight b7. So I think he might be forced to take here, which is probably really bad for him. I also don't have to worry about this skewer. Yeah, after knight c5, this should be really bad for our opponent. He loses the bishop pair, which was his biggest advantage. Those two bishops were very strong. I have no bishops to counter his. I only have a knight, which is forced to be traded off now, I'm pretty sure. Any other move but king d8 or takes, then just win the rook. Yeah, he takes, and so takes with the d pawn just seems the most reasonable. And now, if he allows it, I'm just gonna trade the rooks or actually, c6 might just be coming. Let's say c6, king d8, then I have c7. And if he comes up, I just trade in queen. It does not work because of the bishop. I can just take back. And then I'm just up a rook. Just up a full rook. So yeah, this should be pretty smooth. This is really bad for him now, yeah. He trades. I'll just improve my king. Now it's a matter of time before I walk in and start winning pawns. f4 feels like a nice move. He can't touch that pawn because his bishop is on the light square. I could also just start with this and go for this. I'm gonna go for rook h1. If I go here, he might have this. So we'll start with f3, actually. We'll not allow the bishop to come to e4, and now this move is on the way, but maybe bishop g6 now? But he allows it. King g4. Now bishop g6 should be played. Yeah, rook h5 is a pretty big threat now. I'd be winning d5. F3 being an important move because there would be a bishop e4 otherwise. Bishop e6. So we get the pawn on h7. He's gonna try to walk his king in, but as soon as he goes here, I'm pushing. Take, push. Then let's say take. I'm just taking. If take at queen. And yeah, this is just terrible, I think. So I just want to wait here. I could go h4, take, push, take, push. And what does he do? Let's say h5. Then I just take. Yeah, and then I take, and this is coming. So I think just I think a4 is playable, but a4 can take here. But push can't do anything. If she goes here, I go here. You would have. Oh, but wait, no, he can't. Let's just say. Let's say a4 and he takes on b4 instead of a4. Then I push. Then if take, push, it's the same line. And if here, I think it works, but here, here. And of course, here, there's no this. Yeah, this works. I'm very tired right now, and I'm really struggling to calculate. Takes on a4, so now we push. Takes on b4. No, we don't take first. Takes on b4, we push. We push c7, and now we're going to take on f7. You go a5 here. Yeah, but we're just going to take on f7. Goes a3, I just take the bishop. And I'm queening first, but I'm also in time to stop the pawn. He should just resign here. This is hopeless. I mean, just a rook f8. So let's say this is still tricky though. Rook f8. It's not actually because, yeah, it's completely winning. If you push, I take and I'm in time. If he saves the bishop, I just promote, I take, and I sack the rook and I promote this pawn. This is completely winning. Say bishop d7, or doesn't make a difference, I just promote. and then yeah. So we get a nice win from an opening disaster actually. It doesn't make a difference at all. So yet again, it seems we're facing a disrespectful opponent who's gonna let his time run down. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cut this out if he really does let his time run down, but this is very disrespectful. And if you guys play on whatever website, chess.com or Lichess, don't do that. If you're losing a game, just have some good sportsmanship and resign the game. Don't let your time run down and waste other people's times because of your poor play. Alright, so let's have a look at the game review. So apparently not a very accurate game. Knight of 3, d6, d4. This was all fine. Bishop g4 apparently an inaccuracy. Bishop e2 was correct. e5, I took on e5. Takes. Yeah, this whole thing just didn't work. Wow, the computer thinks my position is so bad. I should just play knight c3 here. And he's literally up a full knight. So yeah, so a bit of an opening disaster. Probably just d5 here. Yeah, just d5 and have a very nice position. Of course, if knight knight d4, I literally just win a full piece because of this common tactical pattern where the knight sees the e2 square from d4. So he would have to play something like knight b8 or knight e7, which is just dreadful. Yeah, we ended up still winning, which is fine, but for next time, just this is not such a good move because of d5. Yeah. What I played was a blunder though, and we got a really bad position. After takes, and we took here. And then he takes on e4, knight e5, and then he takes on g2. I played knight c3, which is fine. Knight f6 is a mistake because of bishop g5, nice. Now after bishop f3, we're better. Rook g3 is a miss. Why is rook g3 a miss? I could have taken on f6, and then rook g3, bishop h5. Wow, rook e3. Computer says king d8 and knight d5. This hangs. Let's say you guard the pawn with something like and the rook c1. And this is mate in 12 now. Okay, I guess there's just too many pieces coming in, yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I played rook g3 and bishop h5 is a blunder. I took, once again, rook e3 check, and let's say king d7. Take on f6, and then I guess knight d5, yeah. And yeah, Black has nowhere to defend himself, I think. Because rook c1 is coming as well. So, in the game, I took knight d5, which is a mistake, but we're still better. And bishop e7 is a blunder. We take on c7. And this was just a matter of conversion. Computer says d5, which is interesting. I guess securing the c6 outpost. That makes sense. a3, knight b3 was best. If check, just king f1, yeah. And this is fine, but I think a3 is just a useful move, especially since we got in b4. Which computer thinks is wrong, but king e2, okay, wow. I'm very happy about this move. Yeah, king e2 is a very professional move. You know, just improving the position. Like, we're up the exchange, we have full control of the c file. This bishop doesn't know what it's doing, you know. Apparently taking with the rook was best. But can't really blame me for taking with the d-pawn. Yeah, and then rook h1, f3, king d4, a4. Yeah, okay, I'm really happy about the way we converted the endgame. Yeah, this was a really clean conversion. Okay, so yeah, so pretty nice game. I'm just wondering about the okay right here. So I played like a 1900 and opponent played like a 1550. Yeah, so I played a very questionable opening. Endgame was very smooth though. And yeah, opponent messed up in the middle game and in the end game. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.